I enjoy doing with embroidery designs is looking at a design and then looking at what part I could stitch out and skip certain areas that I don't want to stitch. So what I want to show you on the Pfaff Creative Icon is how you kind of can skip around, go from color to color, stitching out only what you want to stitch. So if you don't have embroidery software or the ability to kind of break apart an embroidery design, you can do a lot of it just visually on screen, knowing which part of the design you want to eliminate and which part you want to stitch. Now it might be worth it stitching out a design in its entirety from start to finish, all the colors, so you kind of know when they stitch and if there's any overlaps that you might run into. This is one of our blocks from our Embroidery Essentials online course, and there's definitely elements in here, even just this butterfly, which actually has a quilted stippling option and an applique option. So if I wanted to skip the applique and the quilting and I just wanted this outline of the butterfly, it would be something that I could skip all those parts that I don't want to stitch and stitch just the outline. But how about let's take something that's built into the machine just to give you an idea. So I'm going to go to our built-in designs, and I was noticing in our signature designs there's one that is just a circle. So let's just go ahead and put it into the center of the hoop. And what if we were going to add some lettering to it? I'll just pick one letter like a monogram and bring that in. It's hiding underneath here. There you go. And let's just center that. So you can see right now that it is touching that center circle, and that one is kind of the goldish circle. So let's pretend that we are stitching this out. I've got the 260 by 200 hoop, so we'll put that on. So it will allow me to get to our next screen, and I'll show you, so I can show you how we jump around. So at this screen, again, we don't really have to do anything. I was doing a thread cut options where I had turned off the automatic one, so I'm going to just put that check mark back so I have cutting features for the next time I embroider. So at this point, if you were just to start or open up the stitch out progress area, you will have we'll have the first thing that it's going to stitch. So let's open up the little palette where it shows me all these different steps. And as you can see, it's overlapping my design. Let me show you a quick little trick here. You just slide that off to the side and this up over here. We can have kind of a side-by-side view of each of those, the color block list and the design. So the best way to see what pieces and parts are going to stitch out is make sure that the butterfly with the body showing is selected. And once you've done that, that will remain the same. So here's what's going to stitch out in color 1. This is color 2. I bet that's an applique kind of concept. Then there is that brown part. That's the part we're going to skip. So what we can do is we can be stitching along color 1, color 2, and then when it gets here, all you have to do is skip forward and jump to the next block of stitching you want to stitch. Then keep going. It's going to stitch that circle. This is the one we're going to skip. And then we'll just go down to the letter which stitches out last. And it stitches out last because that was the order we brought it in. And so if we brought in the letter, then the circle, then the letter would stitch out first and the circle would stitch out second, which would not work well if you had an applique and fabric. So definitely keep that in mind, or remember to adjust the order before you leave the embroidery edit area. There is a way to change the order of stitching of designs you bring in. We've done a video on that, so make sure you check out all our videos, as well as the Embroidery Essentials online course that will definitely help you master all these fun elements that the Pfaff Creative Icon has.